Hey everyone, this is my first video, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm just going to show you guys a very basic kit that I'm going to be bringing out. I'm going to be bringing it out just for one overnight stay, and this is an incredibly cheap, very simple kit. I'm not really bringing too much. I'm not bringing any food. The only item that you don't see here that I'm bringing is a tarp, and I believe it's an 8x6 general tarp. I've been using it for landscaping, so it's got some holes in it and stuff, but yeah, it sheds the rain well enough and it'll keep the heat in and things like that. And it costs under like 10 bucks, so this is a very affordable way to go out into the woods and not have thousands of dollars of gear on you, and have it be really simple. Just bring a few tools and like go around your house and go into all your cupboards and search for items that you think that you could use, instead of just going on Amazon and spending like hundreds of dollars on all these like fancy things, and just kind of gather what you can at home first before you even purchase anything, and then just fill in the gaps as you go, and you'll have a pretty reasonable kit like I do here. So I'm going to just start off, obviously the fun part, the cutting tools. This is a Fisker X7 made in Finland. It's a good axe, good little camping hatchet. It's I know it's not a wood handle or anything, but for what I'm doing, this is awesome. This is a really good hatchet. It bites into wood really well. It comes quite sharp compared to the other hatchets that you find in its price point. If you go to Home Depot or something and just get the standard axe, it's going to be so dull that you're already going to have to sharpen it up before you even get to use it. That's just ridiculous, in my opinion. So this comes, you can use it right away. You don't need to sharpen it. I mean, it's not going to cut hairs or anything, but it bites the wood really well. Next thing I got, Lemora Companion. This is pretty standard. I'm filming this with my cell phone, so bear with me. Pretty standard knife. It's got that rat tail tang, I believe, and it's got some sap on it. I didn't spend too much time cleaning, but this thing, it is sharp. It comes pretty sharp too. They do it's a really good job for the price you pay. I mean, I bought this was like 16 bucks on Amazon, and plus like, I don't know, 8 bucks in shipping or something. And it's really good knife for the price point. And I pretty much think everyone recommends this, and it's a great starting off knife, especially if you don't have much money. This axe will run you around $30. I found this one at Walmart, surprisingly. Okay. I have a simple folding knife that I've had since I was like 12 years old. I don't know. I think it's made in Brazil. Stainless Brazil. Yeah. I don't really use this. This is like a backup knife. It's got some wobble in it. When you press down, it's got some wobble in there. And one thing I might use it for is to strike the fire steel that I have, because I hate using the striker and I don't really care too much for this blade. So this is just, I mean, if I have to, I can use this thing. But I'll be using the Lemora pretty much for everything as far as a knife goes. I do have a little Leatherman, and this wasn't mine. This was given to me, and I don't think I'll even be touching this thing, but it's just a backup little blade here. Let's see if I can fold it out with one hand. And yeah, it's got some scissors that probably will never get used, and some tools, a little blade and stuff. But the good thing about this is it comes with this thing, so I can pop it on my belt. And it's just a backup. I probably won't even touch it. This is, I mean, retail. This is probably more expensive than these things. I'm not really sure because I didn't get it and it was just handed down to me. So this is not necessary. It's just a personal thing that I have. I have this mint tin that I might experiment with and create it into a char cloth. I got some 100% cotton in there, and like I'll probably, you got to poke a hole in there and stuff. I haven't done that before, so I might try it this time out. Got your paracord, standard deal, paracord. I just got a couple Ziploc bags that if I collect some wild edibles, I can just shove them in there. And I kind of rigged this. This was for a different axe that my parents had and they don't use. So I stole this so I could use it for my Fisker because I can put it on my belt. And I had to cut it at the bottom there because this handle juts out like that. So it makes it a little tricky putting it into this thing. And I just made this kind of little rope attachment to keep it in there if it's in a bag and stuff so it doesn't pop out, but it fits in there really snug as it is without tying it down. I got some nylon socks that I'll be wearing. I'm going to go through my clothes a little bit too because I see a lot of videos and they don't really touch on that stuff. And I think it's important, to kind of just show. Little bag, I think it might have been for an old sleeping bag, but that's just to throw my stuff in when it goes into my backpack. This is what I'll be cooking with. I didn't purchase this item. One second. It's just a camping pot. And I don't like these handles, obviously. Not the best if you're putting it over a fire, but there's ways around that. Got your lid. Cheap little camping cup. Obviously I'd rather have a metal one, but I don't. And this is basically what has been lying around the house, so this is what I'm using. I'm not investing like $30 into some stainless steel titanium mug or anything, just so I can like hang it over a fire and look cool. Cheap two camping utensils that just stick in there. I'll probably might put the paracord in there just to save some space. Oops. I'm gonna fill this guy with water. This was super cheap. Carries about 1 liter. My dog chewed through that, so can't hang it. But it carries water. I'll probably just bring one of these guys as well. I'll move over here first. This is a little sponge. It's a good knee pad. Usually I put it in this bag here, and it kind of keeps it, doesn't absorb all the moisture, and I can use that as my pillow as well. Moving on. This backpack is literally a backpack I used for high school. It's definitely not rain. Will get wet and stuff, but it carries stuff, and I'm not bringing much stuff. So the only things, like I have some rain gear that's drying downstairs, but the only thing that's really that I don't want getting wet is the stuff in here, and that's why I have this Ziploc bag. Everything else I'll be wearing. I'm just wearing a comfy t-shirt that I like. Shorts. I bought this. These are like $5 at a thrift store, and a cheap sweater. And I mean, these, you don't need to get all these fancy under layers and everything. You're not. It's summertime right now, so you're not going to die from hypothermia because you sweat. And once you get your fire going and stuff, I mean, you dry out pretty easily. So, I mean, you can. Most important thing is probably an outer layer for rain, and I have some because I used to landscape, so it's 100% waterproof stuff, and it doesn't breathe very well, but like it will keep the rain out completely, even though it's been banged up and stuff. So I mean, you don't have, you can, all these people have wicker layers and stuff, and like, yeah, I do have an Under Armour shirt, but I'm not wearing it, so this is what I'm going with. This is very simple stuff, and I got a little crappy Dickies hat. Hat's always good to have. All right, yeah, this is probably the most interesting thing. This is my first aid kit, and this isn't complete, but I bought this at Walmart, I believe, and I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I did it because we went on a kayaking trip and we didn't have one, and I bought it and threw it in the kayak. And now I have modified it a little bit, taken some things out, put some things on. I still want to do stuff in here. I definitely don't have the necessities, but for what I'm doing, this is totally perfect. I do have a whistle. I wrapped some paracord around this. I don't know, it's like 20 feet or something. In here, as you can see, this is backup stuff. I like using this for my fire. I hate the striker. I don't like using it. It's kind of annoying. I don't like, this one's kind of cheap, and I'm ordering a better, more thicker one. So this is just kind of in there for now. This is backup stuff. I have these safety pins. Obviously, you can use them for various things. I put in a little pencil in there, just, I don't know, so I can write my death note or something. I got a small Bic lighter. I don't really use it. A really small Swiss Army knife that was given to me, so this is not mandatory. You can put, it's always good to have a backup knife. I used to have in there this like really cheap knife, a multi-tool thing, just so I had a blade. But that one's a little smaller and it works. So I have like 10 waterproof matches with the striker that I stripped off there. I probably will never touch them. I have these are like cotton wool with Vaseline, I believe, and these are so easy to light with anything. So it's like guaranteed fire in here. In here I don't feel like taking it out, but in here I have little rolls of birch bark that I've rolled up, and 2 more of these. So this is like, I can make a ton of fires with this, like a lot. In here I have a few pills. It's like ibuprofen, some Benadryl. My girlfriend's allergic to bees and stuff, so that's mandatory. I usually put an EpiPen in here for her too. I got, yeah, the basic stuff. I need to put in, for longer stays, I need some diarrhea and some stomach things, so that's going to get added, obviously. Found this little sewing kit lying around, and yeah, that's sweet. I don't really have to put one together. Try to put these things in plastic bags just because it's best to be extra sure everything's waterproof. I have a nice flat piece of birch bark in there too. It's really easy to start a fire if you know how to with this, and the fire steel and the ferrocerium rod or whatever it's called. In here it's just standard band-aids, some gauze and stuff, some swabs, some alcohol pads. I think there's stinging nettle relief. I'll just open it up, so. Bear with me. This is like some stuff I found in my cupboard. It's like kind of like an extra skin thing, probably really good for blisters. Can be used for a band-aid and stuff, obviously. These are just like soap towelettes that were in the pack already. Non-adherent pad, so you don't like rip your skin off. Gauze. Water purification tablets. This is like 1 liter. It's 2 tablets in 1 liter, or one. Yeah, for clear water, it's 1 tablet for 1 liter. If you're taking it out of a puddle or something, you can use 2. So that's a lot of water in there. And this I'll be using this pot mostly for purifying water, but I'm bringing water, so I don't really need to do that this time around when I'm planning to. So that's all just backup stuff. That's if you're really stuck and probably will never touch it. I do have one of these, another one of these big Ziploc bags that can be used as a container to purify water with the tablets, and to carry stuff and do whatever you want with it. Put in this duct tape. I know that not everyone, one sec. Not everyone carries duct tape, but can repair a tarp, repair damaged clothing, you know, can you wrap around here for a bandage. You can do quite a lot of stuff. It's very versatile. You can make quarters and stuff. It's like, I think it should be in anyone's backpack. I mean, if you have like buckles breaking and stuff, you can just duct tape the crap out of something and keep it there instead of messing around with like paracord and making something fancy. You know, if you're on the move, you want to just duct tape something. This is, yeah, I think this is a gauze or something, just put over a wound. I don't know, I might, yeah, I'll just keep it in there for now. Got a space blanket. Square of tinfoil. And a condom. And that obviously can be used for multiple things. Okay, under here is for the girlfriend. She has extra pads and stuff. Yeah, that's backup. That's just in case. It might last a day in that scenario, so hopefully you can get out if you're just relying on this as a female, but preferably she's going to be carrying more of that stuff instead of just, you don't want to rely on this. It's just backup. But yeah, obviously these pads can be used for multiple things, not just for the women's stuff. So yeah, this is very simple. No food in here. This is cheap, and this is a lot of stuff that I found around the house that I've built into it. And I want to add survival fishing kit, mirror, compass, a few other things, and integrate it into here. And yeah, I think it's definitely, it's totally perfect for what I'm doing. I'm not suggesting that people like go out here and try to like survive off of this for a long period of time, but if you're out there for a night, this is more than enough to get by. And the most important thing is water, really. So if you bring this much water, like, you're not going to die. And like, all this stuff is like, if you did happen to have a bad injury or something, you can manage it, and you should be able to walk out if you're only doing one overnight stay. And I don't have any sleeping stuff in here. No sleeping bag, no sleeping pad and stuff. So because it's only one night, I'm perfectly fine for myself to just either tough it out or, you know, make my own natural kind of bed depending on weather and things like that. With a tarp, you know, you're going to be dry. So it's a personal preference. I don't want to carry a sleeping bag. It takes up a lot of space in this little backpack and stuff, and I don't really need a mat. It's not cold enough. So it's the scenario that I'm in, and I suggest that everyone designs their kit like towards their scenario. If you're going towards winter time, like, you need to change your stuff. You can't just rely, like, can't just be an all-round thing. You know, it's always changing depending what you're doing. You know, if you're going out hunting, if you're going out fishing, if you're just gonna do what I'm gonna do and try to find wild edibles, then you design your kit accordingly. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You don't have to spend like hundreds, thousands of dollars on Amazon to go out in the forest and enjoy yourself. You know, that's the main reason for this video, is that, like, literally, this is more than enough. You can make like a sweet setup, you know, with thermal walls and all this stuff, just with like the hatchet. You don't even need to necessarily bring the knife. But, and you know, the knife, it does a lot of stuff too. So, I mean, you don't even need to necessarily bring the axe for one overnight. So you know, it depends what you're doing. You know, you don't need all the comfort that typical camping provides. You don't have to bring a tent. You don't have to do these things. It's all personal preference. You know, don't don't worry about getting your hands dirty. Uh, you know, make it really simple. Make it easy for yourself. But I like the challenge too. I don't like to make it so easy where it's like I'm out there using I want to create a fire and I use this and I do have a lighter and that's so much easier, but this is so much more rewarding and fun, and that's part of doing it out there. And like this thing, it is a little bit more reliable than a lighter, but in wet weather it's hard. It's not easy to do this. I do have the Tinder available to make it easy. But usually I try to just go out and use what I find. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. And this is the pretty much introduction to what I'm going to be doing. And I'm just going to be going out and doing a one-nighter and setting up a camp. And it's going to be very simple, just, simple tarp camp. And get a fire going and, do some fun stuff.